Hi, welcome back to M's Perspective. So today we're just gonna jump straight into it. For those who don't listen to my podcast and it's your first time listening to my podcast is basically based on empowering people and just encouraging people to just be themselves and to just follow their true self without being influenced by the rest of the world, because we're all different individuals with different opinions, with different perspective. So never allow somebody else make you feel as if you're doing things wrong, or your ways or your beliefs and your morals and your values are not valid compared to theirs, because the same thing can also apply to them if they look at life from your point of view. So so that's just a little mini introduction if you've never really listened to my podcast. And so let's just jump straight to today's topic. So today, actually, this is a topic that came out of a conversation that I had with somebody on Instagram. And if you're listening to this, thank you for giving me a topic for today. Today we're actually going to talk about love. So I know I might not be an expert when it comes to love, but I'm not technically gonna go deeper into it. It's just as I was actually having a conversation with this particular person, although I don't know whether they were serious or not, that I can't help the fact that it actually allowed me to come up with a topic that I'm going to be discussing today. So it's basically related to how we're living in a generation where it's actually kind of hard to trust the fact that love still exists. And I'm talking love when it comes to like courtship and when it comes to romance, as because we know that family and friendship, there's always that love and that connection and that bond that's out there. But now let's talk about the love that most of us think that we might lack when it comes to actually finding the right one, or when it comes to actually trusting the fact that we can give our all to one person, whether it's a different gender, whether it's a same gender, whatever. But why do we think in today's generation that love does not exist, or why is it so hard for us to believe and to think that we can fall in love? Because I think with the generation that we currently live in, it has become really hard to trust that true love does exist. Although with what goes on nowadays, yes, one can literally argue, or one can actually believe that love does not exist anymore, because if anybody wants you, they want you for a reason, and they either want to use you, or they just want to, they want attention and they want care that only benefits them but that doesn't benefit the other party. Or it's just the fact that they're becoming bored, so they just need a new entertainment, and in the way, and for them to get that entertainment, it's to jump into a relationship that's going to keep them busy until they think that they no longer need that person to be busy. So they just they drop them and they break up with them, or they just it's basically in a way of using somebody when you're done with them, making it really difficult for people to trust the fact that love still exists. And for those who truly did find love and who still believe in love, that's good on you and congratulations. And this message is simply for those people who don't believe in love, who've been hurt, or who haven't been hurt but they're actually not believing in love based on what they see on social media, or based on what they see around them in real life with whoever they're surrounded by, who basically has affected basically their ways and their point of view about love, and whether they should believe in love or not, or whether they shouldn't. So my encouragement to these people, like I said once again, I'm not an expert when it comes to love, but Yeah, some of us did love before, and some of us still believe in love. No matter how much it hurts, no matter how much you don't want to trust and you don't want to believe in it, there's just that one part of you still believes the fact that love does exist. And this is actually an encouragement to anybody who feels as if it does not exist. Yes, you might have been with the wrong person. Yes, you might be talking to the wrong person right now in your DMs, or interacting with the wrong person who makes you feel as if, no, this is not the way to love. But the thing that we tend to forget is the fact that we all have different love languages, and the way we communicate love is different. So don't think that the way you're going to be looking for love is the same way that the other person is going to be looking for love. The most important thing to do is the fact that you need to try to understand what another person's love language is in order for you, to draw and to actually get the rhythm or get the understanding of what you're truly looking for, and whether the other person can give you what you're looking for. Because sometimes we tend to interact with the wrong people, not the fact that they're wrong, maybe for the fact that their love language is totally different from our love language. So we then tend to fall into this trap of thinking that just because they see it differently, then that means love does not exist. In this moment, the only thing that makes you feel that way is because you're communicating on a different level, and what you both value are two most different things, which basically means that you guys cannot really get one another, and you will not be able to reciprocate the same type of feelings and the same type of emotions toward each other, because you basically both have different ways that you communicate those feelings. That's why if you find the right person who believes and who communicates the same language as you, then it's going to be more easy for you to believe in love. But if you're associating yourself with the people that are totally different to you when it comes to what you think about love, or when it comes to how you go about perceiving what love is, then obviously you're gonna have a bad experience, and it's gonna discourage you on the fact that love does not exist. But matter of fact, it does exist. Love does exist, at least in my point of view. I believe no matter how much you can be hurt, because I believe in the fact that just because one person can hurt you, and just because you might have a bad experience, it doesn't really delete out the fact that there are good experiences that still do exist for the future, and there are still good people out there who are basically looking for the same thing that you're looking for. It's just they also haven't found the right person yet. So you're not alone in this. You're not alone when it comes to the fact that you're lacking the love that you think you deserve. There's a lot of people, it just takes the right person for you to see it. So, and another thing we tend to do is try to rush it. You're trying to rush it. We see family, friends, we see couples on social media, we see couples through our friend groups who are happy and who are actually living the love that you want for yourself. And in that moment, you then start wishing for the same. And then in that moment, unintentionally and without you realizing, then you try to rush it. And in the middle of trying to rush that love, you get the wrong one. Because you feel like you're running out of time. You feel like, why can't I be on the same level with them? Why can I not have the love they have? Like, what am I lacking? So you, out of your eagerness and out of your thirst, then you go search for it. You go out hunting and then you're hunting for the wrong thing. You just end up with the wrong person, because the first person that will pop in your DM, the first person who's going to talk to you nicely, the first person who's going to tell you I love you, then you will think that's a person just because that's what you were looking for within that moment. Then you think, yes, I've got it. But in the long run, you start realizing the fact that this person is not really the right person for me. This person is the wrong person for me, because you didn't take your time. You didn't take your time to let love sink in. You didn't take your time to embrace the fact that everybody got their own days. Everybody got their own time. So don't rush for such a beautiful thing to come into your life, because I personally believe that love still exists. Yes, you might get hurt. You might just learn from that, and you learn a different way of loving without affecting the fact that love does still exist, and the purest kind of love is out there. It just takes the right person to remind you that love does exist and love is there. So what if you've been hurt? I'm not telling you to disregard the pain you've gone through. I'm not telling you to disregard what you've been through, what a heartbreak has done to you if you've had one. I'm not telling you to disregard that, but I'm not also going to sit here and tell you that you should give up and you should lose hope and you should not have faith that one day, just one day, God is going to literally send the right person in your DM, send the right person at your door who will literally love you the way that you want to be loved, or the way that you didn't think that was love, but in actual fact, it was the right way to love. Because sometimes we just tend to dwell in our own feelings, dwell in our own ways, and we think that our own ways are the right ways. Our ways of loving is the right way to love, until you meet the person who's going to challenge you and who's going to actually show you, hey, hold up, maybe this is not the way to love. You've been looking at it from the wrong point of view all this time. I don't know what type of experience you've had. I don't know who you've been with, but whoever you've been with or whoever you've seen love in this kind of way, they've been doing it all wrong. So you literally need to start seeing love on a different angle. Just stop dwelling in your own ways. Stop dwelling in fantasy. Stop fantasizing about everything. And just be reminded that sometimes love will come in the way that you least expected. It will come in the way of that's going to challenge your point of view. And when it challenges your point of view, don't shut it off. Don't run away from it because it looks different from what you've always known. Challenge yourself to actually try and look at love from a different point of view. Maybe the only reason why you don't believe in love today is because you've only looked at it at the wrong point of view. You've had a bad idea about it. The only reason why you think that you can't trust anymore, and people can't be loyal to you anymore, and people can't give you the purest love that you've always imagined, or you've always thought of, or you've always believed that exists, is because you've been looking at it at the wrong point of view, and you've been looking at it the wrong way. You've been looking at it from someone else's perspective of how life should be, and you just, you took that upon yourself to think, yeah, that's how it is. But in reality, maybe love is different from what you think love is. Just sit down for a minute. Think about it. Why do I keep attracting the wrong people? Why do I keep attracting the different perspective of how I think about love? Why are they the only people talking to me? Just question yourself that and wonder that for a minute. Is it because I've been doing it wrong? Is it because maybe I've been doing it right, but doing it right for the wrong people? That when the right people are in my life, I'm not being able to understand how to deliver the same love that I should be delivering? Am I just delivering love the wrong way? What's wrong with me? Sometimes it's easy to put the blame on the rest of the world, to put the blame on the rest of the society, to blame everybody for how they've created this perception of love to be. But on the other hand, if you think about it, why are you blaming them? Who is in charge of how you should feel? Who is responsible for how you perceive love? Just because they're doing it wrong doesn't mean that you also choose to go the same path. It doesn't mean that just because they don't believe in it, you also choose to not believe in it, so you start delivering it in the way that you think the society best believes in it. They're not doing it wrong. The world is not doing anything wrong. The fact that you're choosing to act like the rest of the world is what's making you feel like love does not exist. It's what's making you feel like there's no one out there who can truly deliver the love that you're looking for. But trust me, there is somebody who can truly deliver what you're looking for. Matter of fact, they can even deliver it better if you just challenge yourself to get out of your head. Don't let your head get you to a point where you're like, you know what, it is what it is, I'm just gonna act like the way I want, I'm just gonna be a playboy, I'm just gonna be a playgirl, I'm just gonna take whatever comes my way, because this thing does not exist anymore. Don't let your head play you. Stick with your values, stick with your morals. Whatever you've always believed in when it comes to love, stick with that. Don't let the world challenge you, because once the world challenges you and the world makes you believe that love does not exist, that's when you're gonna start actually approaching love in the way that you should not be approaching it. So don't be surprised if people just say things to please you. Don't be surprised if people just give it to you the way you want. Because the moment they're giving it to you the way you want it to hear it, there will come a day when they will get sick of it. Because trust me, we can only please a person for such an amount of time. We can't do it for the rest of our lives. It's either you stick true to yourself today until the end, or you fake it today and then watch how that sabotages the rest of your life. Stop blaming the rest of the rest of the world for what you think is not happening right. What are you doing about it? So what if they don't believe in love? What if they're acting out? Why should you imitate their ways? Why should you live your ways just because you feel like you need to imitate someone else's ways? You would think that usually imitating people is just going to be in ways of bad behavior, or approaching life in a way that, does not include love. But you can also imitate people when you start believing in what they believe in. That's imitating somebody. When you start believing in how I believe in love. Me and you are two different people. I might literally have the worst experience about love, and I'm just gonna sit here and badmouth about it and how much I don't believe it, and poor you take that upon yourself to see the life or to see love from my point of view, and that sabotages your whole universe. Because guess what, you've never experienced it, you've never been through what I've been through, or I've never been through what you've been through. So you sit here and adapt on someone else's beliefs, and then when they mess you up later on, you want to blame the rest of the world. You want to blame me, or I want to blame you for how I see it, not taking initiative to blame myself for why did I not stand my ground and hold my morals and hold my beliefs about love. I know, this might be a long one. Trust me, I can keep going when it comes to speaking and to just allowing you to see the fact that love exists when you choose to stand your ground and just believe what you've always believed. Don't let the world shape you into believing just because you've seen a couple of people have heartbreak and they get depressed and some of them end up committing suicide. I'm sorry for those who do, and for those who have been through heartbreaks. I'm really sorry that you've been through that. But if you're a person who haven't been through that, don't allow someone else's experience be your own experience, because you haven't lived it for you to determine that love does not exist. Go out and look for it. And I wish you all the best, by the way. I don't wish you to come back with a heartbreak or anything, but for those who've actually experienced the heartbreak, my encouragement to you is to not give up on love and to not change what you've always believed about love to be. You just met with the wrong person. It was the right person that you met with, who just had to challenge you. Don't stop believing in what is for what this world wants it to be. I know we live in this world, and sometimes we gotta adapt to the way that this world is moving in some ways. But if it's things that end up just hurting you and making you lose who you are, and sometimes even your way of loving is part of who you are, don't allow it. If you've been heartbroken, trust me, there is people out there who are just like you, who are just looking for the right person. So don't let the bare minimum, or don't let the little percentage of the bad experience affect your entire future that you still have to live out there. Yeah, I know some of us, or some people, choose to not go through that path again, and totally, it's your decision to do. But just because you've chose that path, please stop making everyone's life hard when it comes to what they believe about love. Okay, you've made your choice, you've made your decision. Now let people make their own choice. Stop trying to influence everybody's beliefs when it comes to love and when it comes to the waiting game. Just wait tight and believe in God. I always put God first, of course, because without Him, you won't know who's right for you, and you won't be patient enough to wait for what is yours, for who is yours. Once again, hats off to those who are living their love life and who are happy and who are content in their partner. And for those who haven't found one yet, I just want to encourage you, and I just want to remind you that, trust me, love does exist. It's just you have to try on different glasses to see it. You just gotta believe in it, and don't let the world or anybody shape your belief about it. And maybe you need to start thinking whether the fantasy you have about love is truly what love is. You need to understand what love is for you to actually know whether that love does not exist or not, before you start mocking it, before you start talking bad about it, before you start putting yourself down and discouraging yourself about whether you can ever find one or not. Is how you see it, or is what you believe about love truly what is? Or are you believing the myth about love from what you've seen around you and from what you think it should be than what it is? So I'm just going to leave you that, and I just want to encourage you, just hold on tight and wait. Don't rush anything, because anything that's rushed never bears a good result. So chill, live a life that's pleasing to God, that's pleasing to you. The rest of it, just leave it to God. And thank you for listening to my podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. And once again, remember, this is my point of view. I don't expect you to agree with me. And I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you.